You ever do something so small, just a tiny choice, that every few years it comes back to haunt you? Like a song you can't stop humming, but this time it's the memory of being cruel for no good reason. This is one of those memories. It's the one I relive about every 2 years, exactly the same way. My stomach drops, my cheeks burn, and I think, how could I have been that person? I'm going to tell you the story of how I broke a boy's heart in the worst possible way, for absolutely no reason at all. But before you throw the first stone, let me give you a little context. Maybe after you hear it, you'll throw a pebble instead. Maybe. I had changed schools many times as a kid, so that part wasn't new. But in this particular school, I stayed less than 6 months. I don't even remember the grade I was in, just that I hated every single day of it. The thing about joining a class halfway through the year is that everyone already has their little groups. Their moms know each other. Their dads play soccer together. And you? You're just the extra seat in the back. At first, some girls were nice to me. They invited me to eat lunch with them. For 3 days, I thought, wow, maybe this school won't be so bad. But you know that weird feeling when something just feels off? That's exactly how it was. Forced smiles, whispering when I looked away. And then came the day, the one that burned itself into my memory forever. I was sitting with all the girls at lunch when two of them, the nicest ones, got up to go to the bathroom. I followed because I just wanted to wash my hands. But as I reached the door, I heard my name. They were talking about me. Not just talking, tearing me apart. My hair, my clothes, my body, my voice. Stuff that a 10-year-old shouldn't even know how to insult. And when they saw me standing there, their faces froze like I'd caught them committing a crime. That was the day I learned the meaning of fake people. It was like my brain shattered a little. Because up until that moment, I didn't even know people could pretend to like you and secretly hate you. One of those girls, the meanest, will be very important later. Let's call her Nick. And Nick was the devil in pigtails. After that day, Nick made it her mission to ruin me. Every single morning, it was something new. No one talked to me. No one sat with me. No one even looked at me. I was like a ghost. But a ghost everyone seemed to hate anyway. Recess? Alone. Birthday parties? Not invited. Field trips? Oh, we didn't tell you? Yeah, that kind of thing. Sometimes a classmate would approach me like, "Hey, wanna play tag with us?" And before I could answer, Nick would appear from nowhere. Don't. She's weird. She's better off alone. And just like that, I'd lose another chance to belong. But here's the twist, I'm not the hero of this story. This is the villain's origin story. That lonely little girl? Yeah, that's me. There was another kid in class, a boy who also didn't quite fit in. Let's call him Julio. Poor Julio had a nickname. A terrible one. In Portuguese, it meant Julio the fart guy. Yeah, apparently, he once farted so loud in class that it echoed down the hallway. And kids never forget that kind of thing. Julio was tall, much taller than the other boys. And, because of that, some kids were a little scared of him. He didn't have many friends, but he wasn't mean. Actually, he was really sweet. Every day, he'd try to talk to me. He'd smile, wave, say hi. But I was terrified of him. He was friends with Nick's group, so I assumed he was just trying to mess with me too. So, every time he approached, I avoided him. I ran. I hid. I didn't even let him speak. Then, one morning, something strange happened. When I entered the classroom, I saw a crowd of girls around my desk, giggling and whispering. I thought, what now? What are they planning this time? And then Nick came up to me with that wicked grin of hers and said, well, looks like someone has a secret admirer. There was a small folded note on my desk. Pink paper. Little hearts drawn all over it. And on the front, the name of the sender, Julio. I froze. In my mind, it was a trap. They were trying to humiliate me again. I thought I'd open it, and it would say something cruel like, "You smell bad," or "You're ugly." I didn't even think. I just felt pure anger. At him. At them. At everything. I grabbed the letter and, without reading it, tore it apart. Right there. In front of everyone. In front of Julio. And then I threw the pieces in the trash. He just stood there, silent. His big eyes full of tears that he refused to let fall. And I just glared at him with hatred I didn't even understand. The class went quiet. For the first time ever, no one laughed. Even Nick just stared. And Julio walked back to his desk, head down, without saying a word. For the rest of the week, he barely looked up. Whenever he passed by me, he'd smile weakly, like he still hoped I'd talk to him. But I never did. I kept my wall up. And that was the last memory I ever had of him. Years passed. I changed schools again, then cities. Life went on. But every once in a while, maybe once every 2 years, that moment came back. The look on Julio's face. The shock. The pain. And I realized something that broke my heart. He probably wasn't making fun of me at all. That letter probably said something sweet and innocent like, "Do you want to be my girlfriend? Yes or no?" And I destroyed it. I destroyed him. Not because he deserved it, but because I was tired of being the one who got hurt first. So, for once, I made sure I was the one to hurt first. If Julio ever sees this, which he probably won't, I want to say I'm sorry. You didn't deserve that. You were kind. You were brave enough to care about someone who everyone ignored. And I crushed that kindness like it was nothing. I wish I could go back and tell my 10-year-old self, not everyone is your enemy. Sometimes, the people who reach out their hands are the ones who needed you the most. So yeah, I broke someone's heart. And every time I remember it, I feel that same sting of guilt. Maybe that's karma. Or maybe it's just growing up. If you've ever done something you regret, you're not alone. But please, don't wait years to say, "I'm sorry." Because some apologies never get to be heard.